So he was in town, and he was doing 2 shows. It was April 1st and April 2nd. And I was midnight shift bellman at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Dearborn, Michigan. And that's where he was staying. So I really wanted to go to his concert. I'd been to his Love Sexy concert. I went to that. And the girl I was dating at the time, huge Prince fan too. And so we tried to get tickets. We went down. This is back when you had to go actually down to Ticketmaster to get the tickets. You know what I mean? This is pre-internet, pre-cell phone, pre-everything. And we got down there. We stood in line from the wee hours of the morning. And as we're moving up, people are starting to walk back. They're out of tickets, man. They're out of tickets. So we were bummed. But the hotel was a ghost town. You know, everybody had checked in. Everybody had checked in for the night. All the dinner guests were gone. And it was just basically me, the doorman, and the front desk girl. That was it. And about 1:30 in the morning, in walks Prince, coming back from his first concert, you know? And he's by himself, which was rare with him. Now, working at the hotel, one thing I learned about celebrities is they never have their room key. They have people for that. And I knew he wasn't going to have his room key. So I waited patiently. I was just waiting patiently. I was looking down the hallway, waiting for him. Sure enough, he sticks his head out. He waves me down. And I go running down the hallway right to him. And I go, yes, sir, what can I do for you? He goes, yeah, I can't get up on my floor. And I said, no, sir, you're staying on the 11th floor, which is a private floor. You need your room key to even access that floor. He goes, I ain't got my key. And I said, well, I'll key you up, and also I'll let you in your suite so you don't have to deal with front desk. And he goes, all right, thanks. Very soft-spoken, very timid almost comes across. And so we get into the elevator. I turn the key, and Prince is just right there, right next to me, you know, dressed in his typical Prince attire. And he's just, you know, he's looking forward, just kind of minding his own business. And I turned to him, I said, I just got to let you know. He was actually astonished a little bit. He kind of stepped back a little bit, just like, because the way I came in, I was just like, I was standing there, and all of a sudden I said, I just got to let you know I'm one of your biggest fans. I've been following your career since your early days, you know, Minneapolis and your nightclub days and everything like that. And he kind of smirked a little bit. He says, oh, you saw the movie too, huh? And I'm like, I smile and I say, yeah, everybody has. And he kind of just nodded and smiled. And then I went for broke. I said, you know, my girlfriend and my friends say that I sound just like you when I sing. And of course, he's heard that a million times. He kind of smirked. He says, oh, really? He goes, well, let me hear something. He goes, and if you're a true fan, it can't be something out here on the radio. Let me hear something that's different. And so right then, the elevator doors open. We're on the 11th floor, and we step out. And I turned to him and I said, how about International Lover? And he looked at me. He goes, you know International Lover? And I went from beginning to end. And he went, go. Just like that. And he put me on blast, and this was my chance. And so I was like, darling, it appears to me. And he was just like, all right. He didn't say a word. He was just kind of like, all right, you got my attention. And so we're walking down the hallway towards the suite, and I'm singing International Lover to him, right? And he just like, he's snapping his fingers, you know, keeping rhythm for me. And I'm just singing International Lover. And we get about halfway down the corridor, and it's just like, what's that one part? It's just like, it goes, my plane's parked right outside, baby. And he's just like, all right. You know, the kid's got some chops. So keep in mind, I'm like 26 years old. I'm this whiter than white guy. I'm wearing blue pinstripe tuxedo suit, white gloves, bow tie, and black patent, you know, basically tuxedo shoes. And I'm walking down the hallway with Prince, singing him International Lover. So we get to his suite, and I open up the door and I stop singing. And he walks in and he turns around and goes, keep going. And I'm like, oh. So I picked up where I left off. He waved me in. And so I picked up where I left off. And so the Ritz-Carlton suite is, it's the size of a house. It has a dining room, entertainment room, you know, 2 bedrooms. It's master suite. But in the entertainment room, there was a baby grand piano. And he walks over to this piano and starts playing International Lover as I'm singing it. And he's throwing in some harmonies and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is surreal. You know what I mean? And we get towards probably the middle of the song, and there's a part in that song where Prince basically he has this real guttural kind of, scream to it. And I stopped and I go, I can't do that part. And he kind of smiled. And he goes, here, let me help you out. And he backed it up on the piano and then he hit that scream. And the power, the volume that came out of this little man, because he was 5'2", maybe, if that, 140 pounds soaking wet, just a little man. But the power of his voice, to this day, I hear it and it makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Anyway, so he hits that and I'm just like, man. And right then, the door opens. It's his road manager, right? And he, of course, had the room key. And he had heard the piano coming down the hallway. Keep in mind, this is 1:30 in the morning. He had heard the piano and then the singing. And he opened up the door and he walked in and he looked at Prince. And he looked at me. He looked back at Prince. He goes, everything okay? And Prince goes, Alan, this young man just earned himself 2 free tickets to my show tonight. And I'm like, yes. And so Alan, he reached into his jacket pocket and he pulled out one of those old-fashioned notepads, the little notepads. And he goes, all right, let me get your name. And, I'll have a couple tickets waiting for you down at Will Call, down at the Fox Theater. And Prince goes, no, Alan, give him the good ones. And so he reached in his jacket pocket and he pulled out 2 front row tickets for his April 1st. It was the Act One concert. It was awesome. So I went to the concert, with my girlfriend at the time. And she didn't believe me. She didn't believe the story, obviously. Even after I showed her the tickets. So we went to the concert. And, it's a great concert. And he's up there just jamming and everything like that. And every now and then he'd look at the crowd and he worked the crowd and everything like that. And he saw me and he saw me and he did a double take because he recognized me and he pointed at me like that. And right then and there, she knew I was telling the truth. She went crazy. She started hitting me and screaming and yelling and crying and just like, you suck. You get to interact with all these celebrities and everything like that. So yeah, that's my Prince story.